Hey, I'm Scott, and today I want to talk about the 5 reasons why you should deadlift after the age of 50. So let me give you a little bit of history of myself with the exercise. I never did a deadlift until I was 55 years old, and now I'm 59. But I've been dealing with a low back issue for over 20 years. And that's mainly as a result of sitting on my butt for my day job for decades, and probably because I was a competitive golfer back in the day as well. So the golf swing is notoriously not good for your back. And that's the reason why many golfers should also deadlift. With that said, the only times I've ever really injured my back have been, well, since I started deadlifting, the only times I've injured my back is from just picking up a dumbbell off the floor. I've injured it going through my stretching program. And the reason why that happens occasionally is because it's my hips that get out of alignment. And if I'm not careful and my hips are a little bit out of whack, then that causes a herniated disc if I move wrong. So it's never been the deadlift that's ever caused me any injury similar to those instances where I've injured my back. So let me give you the 5 reasons why you should deadlift after the age of 50 now. So number 1, it's safe. It's based on a natural human movement pattern. We all, almost every day, will bend over and pick something up. Now, we don't always bend over properly and pick something up, but we do that almost on a daily basis. We pick something up off the floor and throw it away or whatever. So it's based on natural human movement. Number 2, it's a simple exercise. There is no complication to it whatsoever. The one thing you have to make sure that you do is get set up properly to do the deadlift, and then you basically just push into the floor with your feet and drive up with the bar. So if you don't jerk the bar off the floor, if you make sure you're in the proper position with the bar over the center of your feet, when you start, you get the back nice and tight and flexed, your head up, your chest up, and you lift the bar from that position, you will not have any issues whatsoever. So it's a simple exercise to do. You just got to make sure you set up to do it. The deadlift also, number 3, has a very wide dosing range. You can literally start with just a few pounds if you only can handle like a small kettlebell. But the bottom line is that the vast majority of people, it's actually only a tiny percentage of the population that can't do a deadlift. Even people who have steel rods in their back can do a deadlift. I've seen on YouTube in the past, a few years ago, there was a lady down in Tampa who deadlifted 165 pounds at the age of 100. And she didn't start training until she was 91 years old. She has since passed away, but that's an incredible thing to see, someone who took the initiative at that age to regain her independence by going to the gym and lifting weights. And I've also seen a gentleman who has a significant back issue. He's very slouched, bad posture, in his 90s, deadlifting 230 pounds. So it's a very small part of the population that can't deadlift. You can literally start with just a few pounds. You can start with a very light, you can start with a kettlebell, which doesn't completely mimic what we're doing with the barbell. You can start with an empty bar. The standard barbell only weighs 19 or 20 pounds. You can get an even lighter barbell than that, I think, and then the Olympic bar is 45 pounds. And then you add weight to that over time. And the dosing range is so great that the world record deadlift now is something around 1,120 or so odd pounds that the mountain from The Game of Thrones series, Hafthor Bjornsson, just set that world record. So 510 kilos, I believe. So you have this massive dosing range from virtually zero all the way up to over 1,100 pounds. It trains the most muscle groups. That's number 4. All the way from your feet up through your upper back and out your forearms into your hands, if you're still holding on to the bar with your hands rather than using straps. So you're basically training your entire body. There is no other exercise out there that trains the entire body like the deadlift. You just cannot replace it with any other exercise. You literally need multiple exercises in order to hit all the muscle groups that the deadlift does by itself. And last but not least, reason number 5, it ultimately becomes the most intense exercise so that it creates the most muscular and neuromuscular adaptation. So there's no other exercise that will help you get as strong as the deadlift, because the intensity of the exercise, once the weight on the bar gets to a certain point, creates so much stress on the body that you ultimately only need to train it one heavy set per week, or even every couple weeks once you get even past 60 or whatever. So you don't have, just to maintain your strength, you won't have to train it every workout or even every other workout. You can get away with training it once a week and still make strength gains with this exercise, because it creates it's such an intense exercise. So those are your 5 reasons why you should train the deadlift after 50. It's safe, it's simple, it has a wide dosing range, it trains the most muscle groups, it's a major compound movement, and the intensity of the exercises creates adaptation that no other exercise can mimic. So those are your 5 reasons why you should deadlift after 50. Thanks for watching. Check out scottallencole.com, and we'll see you down the road.